So Simon, whilst I've been slaving away on social media, what have you been doing in the engine room?
I've been trying to line up the engine, which is here, all this bit, with the gearbox. So you might remember I spent ages lining up the gearbox with the propeller shaft that goes to the propeller. Okay, that's now bolted down, so that's solidly mounted, that's all lined up, I hope. So I have to try and line up this whole engine, which weighs about 1.5 tons, with this gearbox here. And the way that I've done it is I've moved it around using a crowbar and a jack, and also these bolts here. There's one at this end and one at the other end. They can actually be used to raise and lower the engine. It would have actually been easier to have bolts that could move it all the way around, but that would have taken a lot of work. So it's taken a long time to actually get it close, but it is now lined up to within the tolerances that it needs to be with this. And so what I've done, now it's been lined up, is I've drilled 3 holes using the mag drill for these bolts. They're actually going to come up from underneath, but they just fit straight into there, and they're going to be used to hold the engine down. This is the mounting bracket for the engine, runs all the way along there, and the gap here, see, I can get my finger into it, but if I go up to this end I can't. So the gap varies all the way along, and it's all uneven surfaces. So I'm going to use the stuff that they use on bigger ships. It's called Chockfast. I've never used it, but it's basically an epoxy. You mix it up, 2 parts, and what I need to do is create underneath, between here and there, I need to create like
between where?
Between the engine mounting plate and the engine beds on the boat. I need to make like a little dam, like a little swimming pool to pour this stuff into, and then when it sets solid it will have conformed to all the uneven and crazy surfaces under there, and then I can do up these bolts really tight.
Can you tell me something else interesting, please?
Yeah, these bolt holes are 3/4 of an inch, because this is an old engine, so it's using imperial fastenings. I need to blank these off when I pour this mixture around it. Handily, a wine cork is also about 3/4 of an inch. So we need to drink more wine so I can plug all these holes and stop the stuff leaking out the bottom.
Is that why you've been encouraging me to drink all day, Simon?
Yes.
So tell me, Simon, when are you going to do this?
Hopefully in the next few days. And also underneath here are different holes for where the old engine was, and I'll need, this is actually from a gin bottle, Mary. These will actually plug those holes as well, so stop the stuff leaking away.
So wine and gin are coming in very handy.
Yeah, they fit in there. It's actually a happy coincidence, as they say. So the idea behind using it, if I didn't use this stuff, I'd have to get a stack of steel shims, which is what I've done on this, but that was actually more straightforward to do. Because this is 2 uneven surfaces, this is pouring a liquid in that then sets solid. It's going to be the best solution, I think. So we'll give that a go.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Can I film when you pour it in?
Yeah, I've got to set up all these little, basically make a little container around all this stuff to pour it in, and then it'll pour up through and set solid, hopefully. That's the plan.
I love a man with a plan.
Yeah.
So Simon, what are we doing tonight on the engine project?
Well, it's very exciting, Mary, because I've got, I'll demonstrate with the scalpel. This piece of steel here is bolted to the engine.
Yeah.
This piece of steel is bolted to the boat. That's where the engine mounts, and through loads of adjustment I've got the engine lined up exactly with the gearbox, which is back there. And what I've done is created a little dam underneath here, and to fill this gap we use this special orange epoxy stuff called Chockfast. And so I'm going to pour it in there, and it kind of flows in and fills the gap and sets solid, and then we can bolt the engine down.
Woohoo!
Okay, this is a bit like Blue Peter. This is one that we did earlier. I poured the other night. So I used this piece of wood to make a dam at one end, and hopefully it's not too badly stuck. Let's pick off that clamp. And that, I'll chuck that out in a bit. But that's what we're left with. So it's made this, it's solidified into this basically very hard plastic. It's filled all the gaps between here and there. What I'm going to try and do now is see if I can tap through one of my greasy corks. There's the remains of the cork. But the reason I put grease around this is so the stuff wouldn't stick to it, because it won't stick to grease.
Woohoo!
It just means that I can knock those through, and then these bolts will go in, will actually come up from underneath, and then we'll bolt the engine down. So that's really good. I need to take that sharp edge off.
What's this?
This is the stuff we're using. So that's kind of like the base stuff. You can see it's very gloopy. And then this is the hardener for it that you have to add in. When you mix the two together, it's a chemical reaction which causes it to set. And I mix it using this.
Oh, it's like making my pancakes.
It's not that different really.
Higher.
I'm just going to mix. I mixed up a little bit the other day because I just did one side and now I'm doing the rest. It's normally it's set up so you just empty all this into one tin and use it all at once, but because I'd never used it before, I wanted to try it on a smaller bit first. So now I need to mix this. Once you mix it, that's the sort of consistency is. It's almost like, I don't know, pancake batter or something like that. So it means it flows into all the gaps and fills them, and then it sets completely solid plastic.
What have you got to put it in, Simon?
Not very long.
Let's get on with it then. Let's go, let's go. There it is, all in. So Simon, tell me, what do we have to do now?
We have to wait. I'm really good at waiting. We're going to wait, I think it's at about 48 hours at this temperature. But I mean, the other stuff, was pretty hard by the morning after about sort of 12 hours, and by 24 hours it felt really solid, but I left it an extra 24 just to be sure. And then we'll be able to bolt the engine down and start getting it up and running in the boat, hopefully.
Well done. Do you know what, Simon?
What?
You are amazing.